Richard Skipper celebrates. Every show is a celebration. Each show, Richard delivers the artists you love, showcasing what makes them unique. Never gossipy. The antidote to a sometimes hectic world. Now, here's your host, Richard Skipper.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Richard Skipper Celebrates. I am so excited about tonight's show because I have the love goddess in the house, the Aphrodite of the accordion, Judy Tenuta, who I am a huge fan of. Something that I will tell you about Judy that she doesn't even know, but she was born on my mom and dad's wedding anniversary. My parents were married the day that she was born.
Oh.
Yes. So it can happen, you know, and so there's this synergy there. And also it's my grandmother's birthday. But I am such a fan of yours. And I don't know if you recall this, but we actually were on a bill together 150 years ago for Gay Pride.
I'm only 32.
I know that. I'm a lot older. You were still in the womb. But it was for Gay Pride Milwaukee. You, myself, and Pat Benatar.
Oh, that was a great show. I love Milwaukee. That was a great show. Oh my God, yes. I used to work there a lot.
Yes, not far from where you're originally from. But before we begin, I do want to ask you, we are still in the midst of a pandemic. Yeah. And I want to know, how are you doing really in the midst of all this?
No, you know what? I'm the most isolated person. I stay in my house. People have to come to my door and bring me offerings. And then I'll come out and they're 6 feet away and we wear a mask but the best thing, I like people to call. You know, I like people to call. Now, as you know, a lot of these I guess you call them Gen Xers or whatever they are. They don't want to call. They just want to text or whatever they do. And listen to me. I like to hear voices besides the ones in my head.
Well, I have to tell you that once your voice gets into our heads, we can't get rid of it.
Good.
You know that. She has the accordion. When, where, and how did you pick up the accordion for the first time? And when was the first time that you were on stage as a comedian with your accordion? And how did it get worked into your show? A lot of questions.
Questions at once. Well, first off, you see. My accordion was my mother's IUD, so I popped out wearing it. Yeah. Lady of Spain, I adore you. Yeah, so I popped out wearing it. My parents were very loving and encouraging, and so I had my little accordion. And then I put it away as I went through puberty because, you know, hello. As you know how it is, like the boys don't.
Well, you said something that really pops out at me, no pun intended, but your parents, you said, were very loving. You're one of 9 children. Am I right?
Yes.
And where do you fit into the lineup?
I'm third from the top, so I had to change diapers, Richard. It is not easy. Let me tell you something. And also, now we're bringing up children. Every woman in Texas is not allowed to have kids. What the hell? They leave them in the car when it's 105 degrees and go to Dunkin' Donuts, and they come back out, and the baby is baked. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
I love the fact that we're also going to touch topical issues tonight. Yeah. I am with you all the way on this. So you were third in lineup. I'm the oldest of 4, so I also changed diapers. We know what that's like.
Yeah.
But when I want to go back to the 5-year-old Judy, what was she like before she started school and before the elements of peer pressure begin to take over you? Or did peer pressure ever affect you?
Not really, because I didn't belong to the brownies. I was always to myself making up. I was really a shy petite flower. I was because don't forget, I had 6 brothers and a sister who was like a brother. No, but I mean, um, so they were always playing football and listening to the Bear games because I'm from Chicago, the Bears and the Cubs, and which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would do is I would go into the closet, and my parents said, "You have to stay in there until you can play Lady of Spain in the dark." Yeah. But yeah, so when I was 5, I was also I grew up in a very religious Catholic family.
Mm-hmm.
So we lived right across the street from the church. So I went to St. Obnoxious in Bondage School. Real nice. Yeah, Sister Godzilla got mad at me because I gave her a shaven mug for Father's Day. So that yeah. So I had a few little problems there, but I was a good student. And then because I was so kind of sheltered, I want to say, when I graduated high school and I was going into college, I just all of a sudden I found the stage. I found the stage and I go, oh my God, people actually listen to what you say.
That didn't happen until much later when you were going to college?
Yeah, I didn't. Don't forget, I was home through 17,
Mm-hmm.
college at 18, and then I'm in theater, and everybody, it was just great to go on stage and actually people listen to you. I could not even hear myself speak until I was 18 years old because everybody's always yelling and screaming. But it was fun. I don't get me wrong. It was still fun.
So what was the first time that you actually appeared on stage in a professional sense?
You mean actually doing my, well, at the University of Illinois, I was in some plays.
Mm-hmm.
I was in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, Princess and the Pea. Also, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. Hello.
Yes.
A lot of, yeah. So no, but it was great training,
So what was that moment when you decided that you were going to pursue this as a career?
Pretty much I as I was in college and I go, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do it. I want to do it.
I want to do it.
I want to be on stage, but I didn't realize until, I went to New York City when I was a petite flower. I thought, I'm just going to go to New York City because Goldie Hawn did it.
Absolutely. Now, when you came to New York, did you know anyone in New York, or you came?
Hell no! You have to know someone. You have to know someone. Oh, let's come there. Touch up. Oh, that's
you look great. You look great.
So, you do too. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Who coifs your hair?
Me. I burned all the white hair. I burned it.
It looks you have a good head of hair.
Yes, thank you.
That's important.
I burned everyone. All of this gray hair is the last 4 years.
But it looks great on you. It looks great against the old curtain. It looks great.
So when you went to your parents and you said, Mom, Dad, I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to pursue a career in show business, what was their response?
They go, get the hell out. No.
Go.
No. They were go, yeah, you got to do it. Go do it. So I went there and I had a lot of fun, but I found going to auditions, there's like 500 people in a room. Hello. Yeah. Like,
How did you first, I mean, when you first came to New York, where did you live to start with?
I was very lucky. I was very smart. I would go to the university. I would go to NYU. On the poster board, they always had, notices of apartments for rent. I was so lucky. I found one 58th and 6th sublet. 58th and 6th. You know where that is? It's right across the street from the park. You know, right. I mean, it's like the best place.
So you began with, you didn't have roommates. It was a sublet.
I did. My friend Joyce came with me. She also graduated, but I did all the work. I went there first. I found the apartment. We shared it. It was a 1-bedroom. I slept in. I mean, oh my God! But it was really so much fun. We saw. Down the street was the Plaza Hotel. So one day in the afternoon, it's like, hello, you would die and go to heaven because we saw Barbara Streisand. Yummy.
Now, more importantly, Judy, did she see you?
Of course she saw me. Well, she was filming, so, and it was the way we were. Memories like the corners of my mind. Yeah.
I mean, did you stand around and watch them filming?
Oh, hello. Like, I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
And so that was great.
And did you have any survival jobs when you first came to New York?
Oh, I had to. Oh, this was the best idea. So I knew that I had to go to auditions. So what I would do is in the morning, I would hop the subway and go to, I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but restaurant. But Susan Lucci would go there and all these, stars. And I would serve really fancy, like steak burgers and that kind of. So I just worked lunches and then I would come back home. And,
now, I mean, and be honest with me, were you a great waitress?
Oh, hell no! What do I look like? Actually, I was good enough. And that was a very nice place. So it was easy to take care of the people that came in, I would never work in a place. Also, when I came back to Chicago for part of the time I worked there, I remember the name of that restaurant, the Rusty Scupper. And I also did lunches so that at night I could go do comedy. But while I was in New York, I would go to auditions. I still thought, but after a while I go, well, this sucks. I don't want to be in a room with 500 people and they give it to Dolly McFoley or whoever the hell it is. And then my friend Joyce said, Judy, you need to do your own act. Because what I would do is I would be at these things and kind of I can imitate people. And they would say, oh, you should do your own act. So first of all, you got to grab the squeeze box, got to get. And I decided that I was the petite flower giver goddess, fashion plate saint, earth mother hostess, geisha girl, buffer of foreheads, healer of hermaphrodite, blesser of bunions, queen of candy pants, and empress of Elvis impersonators. Yeah. So that's what happened. And then because I couldn't survive anymore. I had a great time in New York, but you're 20 and you run out of money. Hello.
So was that the deciding factor as to why you left New York? Okay. And did you go back to Chicago or did you come to the West Coast? Or did you go to the West Coast?
Park, Illinois. Oak Park, which is also the home of Ernest Hemingway and Frank Lloyd Wright and Betty White. She was born there, just like me. And she was also a brunette, at least at birth. But, things change. So, anyway, I went back and then I was very lucky because there was a big comedy boom. But my first job I took was as a singing waitress. at the Holiday Inn on Lakeshore Drive. I just loved it. So what we would do, you have to serve your drinks, and then they would say, "Oh, it's all the waitresses have to get the tables were low to the ground," and I jumped on top of the table to sing with the other girls, and it was all kinds of music from musicals, and we would all sing them together. But what's so funny is, if you didn't get your drinks out first, you couldn't jump on the table. Right. So I would take everyone's order, and it didn't matter what they ordered.
You would just get those drinks out. It was all about the performance.
I would give them a screwdriver. I go, okay, it's all screwdrivers all the way around. And I would go on stage and, yeah. So,
now, was there a particular song that you were known for? Was there a song that people said, Judy, get up and sing this song?
Oh, no. We sang all together. It was like 8 waitresses on tables. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we had the cutest outfits. And anyway, I'm trying to remember the songs. But I don't know. There were a lot of different songs. But the important thing is I realized, well, I can't be jumping on tables all the time. And I was in the wonderful city, Chicago, mm-hmm. which is a second city. So I went to Second City. And that's where I took some classes. And it was great. But I decided, I think I want to do this. I want to do this by myself first. Because, if you depend on other people, someday they might be divas. Mm-hmm. And not show up, right?
So when you were starting out, were you going to comedy clubs where they would have a lot of comedians?
Yeah. I was very lucky because in Chicago, at that time, the first one to bring me on stage was Tom Dreesen. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, from Chicago. And he brought me up on stage at a place called, what was it called? The Pickle Barrel. The Pickle Barrel. What's great about Chicago, I lived on Lincoln Avenue. There were so many comedy clubs, and I was very close to one of the big ones down the street. Well, it was about a mile and a half away. Zanies. So I would work there. I worked at all these other places, Zanies, the Comedy Room, everything.
Now, as you were doing all these comedy clubs, did you feel that you were making progress, or did you feel that you were struggling to get where you wanted to be? What was the feel?
No, I was doing great. I loved it. Well, you see, I'm also I'm also smart about money. Mm-hmm. No matter how much money I have, I know how to survive on it. Now, listen, a lot of performers don't do that.
That's true.
They don't have a mind. You have to pay attention to your funds. Mm-hmm. You have to eat.
That's right.
You have to have shelter. You have to have food, shelter, and studsicles.
And friends who will bring you cupcakes in the afternoon, like Elaine Ballas.
Oh, she did bring me that.
I know.
She brings me so many good. I wish I could show you. She brings me. Oh my God, she knows it's very sweet. She brings me cupcakes, but I told her no more cupcakes.
Okay,
no more cupcakes because the goddess has to keep her figure.
That's true.
We both are. I told her like I'm killing my scale. She's throwing hers out. So.
I know this from talking with Elaine that when she comes to visit you, you're wearing your mask, you're socially distanced, you're doing all the things that you have to do.
Yes. Oh, I'm very careful, and so anyway, yes. We have. So she brings me things like that, and that's the only. I will see her. Then I may go to CVS with all masked up. Mm-hmm. Maybe once every couple of weeks. And then my studsicle V brings me groceries because I'm not going. I
have to ask you, do you have only one studsicle or do you have many studsickles?
Well, I have many loving people on Facebook.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Chicago for a moment. So
Right,
you start getting a name for yourself.
yes.
When did the crossover happen where instead of you pursuing your career, you started getting phone calls where people were saying, Judy, we want you for this gig or this date? Or when did that happen?
Well, no, first in Chicago, if I could go to the very first important gig I did,
Mhm.
opening for Jay Leno in Atlanta. And that was so great.
Now, how did that come about?
He is so great because he the club there, what was the name of it? Punchline, very famous. I don't believe it's there any longer, but it was very famous for comics. And so they heard of me, and Jay heard of me. So yeah, he said, yeah, have her open for me. So we had so much fun. Jay is really, I mean, Jay is like this. He's the only performer, not just performer, comedian performer, who can go on stage after eating a bucket of chicken and just go right up and kill. I'm like this. I can't eat before I go on, or I'm going to be, I feel my food.
I know. I'm the same way.
Right. Not Jed. We're backstage. He's like chewing on, hey, Tenuta, and he's eating a whole breast of chicken. And they go, oh, Jay, you got to start. He just throws the chicken down, goes out there and starts killing. I say, oh my God, I can't eat. Oh, and then this is how he is. Hey, Tenuta, come on, have some chicken. I go, excuse me, I don't want to hurl during my opening line. No, I can't do that. But it's so funny like that. Yeah, that was just great.
Now, I've spoken to several performers and entertainers, and you're an entertainer, you're not a performer. Do you know the difference for me? An entertainer is all about the audience. You give and you give and you give, and you're going to do what it takes to entertain that audience. A performer is just going through the paces of doing it all, and that's not you, ever.
Oh, no!
No. Did you enjoy opening for other performers? I know that when an audience comes to see someone like Jay Leno, they know him at that time more than they may know you. Did you enjoy opening, or was it a difficult job for you?
Oh, hell no, I killed. Well, he knew I would do well because he saw my video, and don't forget, I was already established in Chicago. Right. I was known. They knew of me on either coast, but the real help, the real boost was when I got a manager in New York City. I got a manager, and I came to New York City, and I did Caroline's Comedy Club, and I was seen there by so many people. Stephen Wright was so great, and also Richard Belzer. They both let me.
Oh,
open.
Wow! Yeah,
they both let me open for them, and everybody saw me. And then and then it was so great because my manager got me on the very first Women of the Night with, these other wonderful female comics, Paula Poundstone, Rita Rudner, and you might have heard of Ellen.
Yes.
Yes. So we had a great time filming that in Hollywood, by the way. We flew to Hollywood to do that. Anyway, so that was huge. But at the same time, I was very lucky because an agent from Young and Rubicam saw me on that special and wanted me for Diet Dr. Pepper commercials. Those were huge. I mean,
of course, I remember. Absolutely.
Weren't they? They were like little mini movies. They did not spare any expense. And my gowns were gorgeous. I mean, these were gorgeous. I was so proud of those and so thrilled to do that.
How long did those commercials run?
So I do remember them premiering at the Super Bowl. I think it was in '89. Super Bowl Sunday. I'm sorry, I don't remember who played. All I care.
No, of course not.
And Super Bowl Sunday, Oh, I was so excited.
Now, I want to ask you: did the commercials come first, or did the comedy special, which aired first on television? What
Uh,
was the first moment that
oh,
you saw
oh,
yourself?
yes, my special, Women of the Night, with those women.
Mhm.
And this is what's even more exciting. I forgot to tell you this. Oh my God. So George Carlin saw me
Ah,
and wanted me to open for him. I mean, the king of modern comedy. And we had the best time the summer of uh 88 and no, it was 87. That's right. My special had just come out while we were on stage. George and I were in New York City. What's the name of the famous lady with the hotels? And she was
oh, Helmsley, Leona Helmsley.
you remember
Yeah.
Leona eat some bologna. Yeah. Leona Helmsley. Here's the thing about George also. George is spares no expense, just like Joan Rivers. Not that they're the same, but
Mhm.
you know how much I adore her.
I know.
And I adore him too. They are comedy icons. And so it was so great to open for George. And we like to do voices. You know, George and I both, I mean, we like to, so he would say, hey, Jude. And I'd be, and then I would turn into some voice like, I don't want to do that right now. So anyway, his manager would yell at us just because we were doing these voices. And George said, shut the F up.
What are the words that you can't say on television?
I'm not saying it.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, from his routine that he used to do about the 7 words that you couldn't say on television.
Oh, yes. And that was brilliant. But so anyway, it was just a wonderful gift and thrill and, and just great. And so that happened. And then, of course, I love Joan, and I did her show. Actually, I did her show in 1986 when she left Johnny Carson and had her own show on Fox. And
Yeah, I remember that whole thing. Well, let me ask you, since you go there, I mean, I was lucky enough. I saw Joan just a few days before she passed away. So her passing was a huge shock, of course, to the world.
Of course.
Was there any was there any backlash from Carson when you did her show? Because he was really
well, you know what's the best part of it? I didn't do Carson. I did Letterman. I mean, I would have liked to do Carson, but and he, by the way, he mentioned me in a monologue in a good way because he saw my commercials. He saw the commercials and he liked the commercials. So he said, oh, this Judy Tenuta is wild. And maybe we need to fix her up with Pee Wee Herman. I also love Paul Rubens.
Yes.
He's so great. Yeah. And, but yeah, she was fantastic. Spared no expense. Oh my God.
She was also generous of spirit to other female comedians in the business. I mean, she was very open to everybody.
Let me tell you something. I have to sing about it. She was a giver, not a taker, not a nasty stinking heartbreaker, like my ex-pig. Oh, I'm sorry. See, so you good to me, or I'm going to sing about it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. No. She was the best. And of course, so listen, you go to the show. You film at 4:00. By the way, she had several shows. The first one I did was in LA. The nighttime one. Okay. And
the Fox show, and then she had the daytime show.
The daytime show. Let me tell you, backstage, I would have comedian friends outside that weren't known, and I would bring them muffins. She had so much food. She had, oh, that's okay. Judy, it's okay. And she had, I mean, everything, quiches, every kind of donut you could imagine. You could get an omelet made. Nobody has that. I go, Joan, do you want me to turn into Roseanne? Hey, Joan, I lost weight and crap, but I still got a blowhole. And Joan and I are very conscientious about, it was so funny because we're both very conscious of what we eat, and not, Joan always stayed slim.
Mm-hmm.
And the petite goddess tries to stay petite. I don't want to turn into a hippopotamus, but anyway, so I was teasing her because I said, Joan, we're gonna, blow up. She's not, but I was afraid I would. But anyway, she had, I just thought that was so generous. She was so generous about everything. And backstage, she would say, Judy, come back anytime. Melissa. Her car. Yeah,
Now, did you ever visit her home in New York?
You know what? I was about to, and then, it didn't because, all that stuff. And I lived on the West Coast. So,
now let's talk about that. How did that move happen?
Oh, I'm originally from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So my first move was from Chicago. Ooh, I'm hiccuping and I'm not having any wine. Yeah, hello. Let's have a drink to Richard.
Have a drink to you. I'm drinking hot tea.
Oh, that's a good. I had tea this morning. I had tea and coffee so that I would have enough energy. Do I have enough energy?
Yeah, not enough, but you're doing fine.
Yeah. Oh, did you see my beautiful balloons?
I do.
Celebrating our wonderful inauguration.
Isn't that exciting? Well, let's go there for just a moment, if you don't mind.
I was so thrilled. I want to say this to everyone in the country. Whether you're in a party, not a party, that is going to be the best thing for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be healed. We need to be healthy. And this is all going to happen.
Now,
right?
Were you ever, are you political? Are you an activist? Were you before this or not?
Well, I don't go in the streets and, like that, but I would if I would if I had a Pope mobile like the Pope. Yes. Well, I have done for the gay community and also anything for women and children and the gay community. You
truly are an icon in the gay community. But I also want to mention that now and this was something that Joan Rivers did as well.
Yes.
You perform same-sex marriages.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Because also in my act, when I would go on stage, well, let's go further back. I'm Judy, and I have my own religion,
Judaism.
With a Y.
Yes.
You must praise the goddess. Judaism with a Y. Yeah, here it is. Look, the power of Judaism. Woohoo! And of course, I have another book, Full Frontal Tenuta. Look at that.
Yes.
I got inspired by Gaga. We love her.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you love her at the inauguration?
Honey, of course. By the way, I give kudos to that has got to be the most difficult. How about that little poet, Amanda Gorman? I'm
a huge fan of. If anybody knows how I can get in touch with her, I want to put her in this piece.
She's a little genius. Okay, she's fantastic. She was inspirational. So was Gaga. But I like J-Lo too.
J-Lo was incredible. Garth Brooks was. I thought Garth
Brooks was the bravest because he did it a cappella, and I got to tell you that really touched me. And people don't give your hate on the comments.
Mhm.
Or anybody who performs for the president like that, for our wonderful new president, and Kamala. Oh, Kamala, Kamala, Kamala.
That's a song. Yes.
We love Kamala, Kamala, Kamala.
Kamala, Kamala, Kamala.
We love her.
Yes.
We're so excited about her. And she's also tough.
Well, Judy, I mean, let me ask you this. The man who just left the White House, I mean, he became a different...
You mean Orangina?
Orangina. In your travels, did you ever meet him prior to...
I have stories.
Well, share them.
Let's go back in time with the goddess. Oh, this is the most interesting thing. Being in New York, I met him first in 1992 because I was hired by Entertainment Tonight because they were having a big opening of the Harley Davidson Cafe. So all the big celebs, Joan came, and Donald Trump, and Marla Maples. And he was such a gentleman to me. But don't forget, he wasn't a politician.
That's right.
He was a big pop icon. You know that? A big...
I did 2 morning shows at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, and he was a very different person than the man he became in the White House.
You would not know. So he was very... And I said, oh, Donald, you have Marla with you. Are you going to go on Broadway? And he says, oh, no, not for me, but I love what she does. And he goes, by the way, you look like somebody else I know, Madonna. Now, I go, hello, except my clothes are on. We love her. But you know what I mean. She did, And anyway, so he mentioned that. And then and then I would perform a lot in Florida because my parents lived there. So I would get hired to work there. And I got invited by a very good friend who belonged to the Mar-a-Lago Club. And I would go to Mar-a-Lago. And I got interviewed there. And Donald Trump was there. He was very gracious, a gentleman. But he's not going to mess with the goddess.
No.
You don't mess with the goddess.
No.
Don't forget, I had
Judy, what do you think happened? I mean, do you think it was just power?
No. It's just it's very different. His whole thing is power and to get the world most famous person in the world. He probably is right now for being the worst president, but don't forget, he was world renowned before that already.
Now, if somebody wants me to ask you, I'm going to interrupt for just a second. No, we'll finish this story first. We're going to get back to this.
No. So I'm saying he was very gracious at all of these events. And I got to say, Mar-a-Lago is beautiful.
Yes.
I've been there. I was there for concerts. I saw, and everything is just gold and top notch and
pink. Everything's pink.
I don't remember the pink. I remember a lot of gold. And I was there in 2000. The last time I was there, I think, was 2002. So I was there for a New Year's Eve show. And I will never forget. That was a lot of fun. And he would greet everybody. He was very nice. He was there with Malaria. Oh, Malaria. Hello. Yes, I am Malaria. You're first. I am no longer first lady, but I have big fat Birkin bag. Yes, I will be non-stop shopping. Non-stop I will be on Worth Avenue. Yes. So yeah. So she didn't say a word, by the way. She's like that. But he's very, very friendly to everyone. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Now, I've been told to ask you about how you met Sonny Bono.
Well, I was doing a show. It's called Friday. What was it called? Friday Night Videos. Right. Friday Night Videos. And it was very much fun. Anyway, we had different ideas. They said, what do you want to do? I said, well, I love morphing into other people. And so, if I could turn back time. Oh. So Cher, and we adore Cher too. Let's have a drink to her. What do you say?
And thank God for her voice. I mean, do you follow her on Twitter?
Oh, I love her. Yes. She's very outspoken.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. And her, Bette Midler, all of them. They're all great. But Cher, let's see. What were we? What were
Sonny
we?
Bono.
Oh, so I said, here, listen, I want to do the show because they told me Sonny Bono was going to be a guest. So I said, okay, well, that's great because I'm going to dress as Cher. So they had the long black hair, on me. And I had on the, and she had just won an Oscar for Moonstruck. So anyway, what happened was, he saw me beforehand and he was nice. But then once we got on camera, I was like, well, Sonny, and I was like, how do you like it? I'm moonstruck. And I turned around and I had a fake ass and I showed him. I'm like, moonstruck. Oh my God. But, come on. Isn't that funny?
I'm laughing. Yes.
Oh, he wasn't having it. So we didn't know what happened. He suddenly left. He just, I hate these bangs.
No, you look great.
They're better.
Yes.
No, they're better.
Did he get up and walk off?
No. We did the thing. Then we had a little break and he just didn't come back from the break. So all the newspapers wanted to hear about it. I was on Howard Stern and, I mean, we're there to be funny. We're there to, but I guess he just couldn't take it.
Well, let's go there for just a moment. I mean, you've worked with a lot of people in this business. You've had a great career. Have you ever been in a situation?
I'm still having it.
You're still having it. But has there ever been a moment where the person that you're working with just doesn't seem to gel with whatever you're doing?
Well, he was the one. He was the only one. I've never had any problem. I mean, you have to remember though, when I do an impression of someone, I might get something on Twitter or whatever, but they all like it. They all love it.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, I mean, I'm the goddess, and I get sometimes people try to possess me. We can't help it, So anyway, like malaria. But I don't know how I'm going to do Jill Biden. What the hell am I going to do? She's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do for her? Hi. I'm Jill Biden. To all the teachers out there, I love you. I love all the teachers out there. Oh, wait, I'm Doctor. I'm Dr. Jill. I'm Dr. Jill. Write to me, and I'll answer your questions.
Before we move on beyond the politics, what was the one moment over the past 4 years that you thought we're never going to get out of this?
What do you mean the past 4 years?
With who in the White House, Argentina.
Oh my God. Every moment, every day there would be some other threat, and I just have to say by the way, may I say this? I had the best birthday this year. November 7th is my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day they counted all the votes and they determined for sure that,
That's right.
President, however, of course, Orangina objected. And even many of his Republican base said, hey, it's over, but he didn't stop. Anyway, I just knew that I just prayed and I saw that even people who might have voted for him had the common sense to realize that we have to bring, you don't have to agree with everyone, but we have to get along. Like Rodney King says. He says, that's why can't we all just get along? Hey, if you don't like someone, keep them on the other side of the street. Just don't, you don't have to have drinks with them, just let them be who they are. And you be who you are. So, I just think it's so much better. It's going to be so much better. Also, the main thing is we got to get everybody healthy. That's the other thing.
Well, I want to go back to when you first became aware that COVID was happening and
we have to make people happy.
We've got to make people happy.
But we're not going to talk about that. Here's what I have to say. I'm going to sing to you.
Yes.
I'm a guy with a mobile home who has an extra Y chromosome. A guy who can retain water in his head and ride me horsey back like Mr. Ed. Yeah! Party on. We're here to make people happy.
We're here to make people happy. What I wanted to ask you is, what did your calendar look like before this all began? I mean, another drink.
Another drink. Yeah, everybody who's watching this, I love everybody on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are. Let's have a drink.
Let's all have a drink. Everybody at the same time.
Loves you. The goddess loves you. Remember that. But it's real love, not fake love, like some pig might say. Anyway.
But Judy, you have a great social media presence. Did you embrace social media from the beginning, or did this something that came much later for you?
Well, we have to get more people to be my fans on Facebook. Where are these people? They need to come and worship the goddess. I'm doing pretty great on Instagram and Twitter and no, Facebook. It's just,
What's your favorite platform that you're on?
Okay, I don't want to get people mad. You're on Facebook.
Yes.
I like Instagram because they can put anything on there. When I get a little political, that's always good for Twitter.
Okay.
But I try to go through to all of them. Of course, Facebook, I put everything on there as well.
But where would you prefer, if all of your fans that are watching right now, and there are many, all that are watching right now, where would you like them to follow you the most?
Well, I want everybody to follow me on Facebook because we're on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm in all of those places, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm sorry, and also don't get mad at me, TikTok.
Well, you mentioned earlier, now I haven't gone the TikTok route yet. How did you get onto TikTok? What do you love about TikTok?
Well, let's not.
Okay.
No. My friend really kind of pushed me to do it, and but I'm glad. There's a lot of fun stuff on there, but basically it's 12-year-olds. So a lot of them, and which is fine.
Which is great.
Fine. Yeah.
It's a good age for people to start getting involved with Judaism.
That's right. Follow the goddess, follow the goddess. Whatever your platform, I like them all. I don't want to discriminate against them. I want to be all-inclusive, like our new administration. He's going to fight as hard for everyone, whether you voted for him or not. And Kamala, of course.
Now, how did the Judaism begin? I mean, when was that first time you're in front of an audience and you go, Judaism? Yes.
I'm Judy with my own religion, Judaism. Well, the first couple of years, I was a petite flower. And then I realized I, of course, have many titles. So I'm the love goddess. I'm the petite flower, giver goddess, fashion plate, saint, earth mother hostess, geisha girl, buffer of foreheads, healer of hermaphrodites, blesser of bunions, queen of candy pants, and empress of Elvis impersonator.
Mm-hmm.
And I shall we say, evolved into Judaism within the first few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then but you know, the goddess is still evolving, and of course, I am the founder of Judaism.
And
And
you consider all people that worship at the altar of Judaism your love buckets, or does one evolve to become a love bucket?
well, here's what I have to tell my people on Facebook: stop having fights with each other on my page. What the hell is this?
Yes.
Let's just worship the goddess. I need a drink. Worship the goddess on Facebook. Be positive. Say wonderful things. Okay? That's what you need to do. That's what this is about. We've got to make everyone happy. There's enough hell going on in your personal life.
That's right.
Yeah. So we
Don't
won't.
bring it to the altar of Judaism.
That's right. Let's all. But the funniest thing is when people try to get me to do things, like they think they can give the goddess orders. Hello. Say, oh, could you just play the accordion? What am I? I'm not your damn monkey. No. Whatever I do for you, you will take it and love it, bitch. Here's to that.
Oh my God, do I love you so much?
But you know this, Richard.
Yes, it's all about making people laugh.
It is about making people laugh. That's what I do. But here's the other thing. You know, all of a sudden I'm Lawrence Welk. This guy go, why don't you play some? Okay, here. All right. Here's a song. Oh, as you know, I make up my own songs. And of course, I love my dad. Well, I love my parents. I love my parents the most because, you know.
Are your parents still with us?
No, unfortunately, they're
Oh,
in.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Because I knew they really loved me. You know, they were very encouraging when I took the accordion, everything. They were only worried when I started comedy, and my mom's like, Judy, how are you going to get your, you know, she would make these things like pigs in a blanket. How are you going to get your pigs in a blanket? Don't worry about it. It'll be great. And then as soon as they saw me performing, they were fans. And they got to meet George Carlin and Joan Rivers. It was great, you know. So you know, all parents love that, right? So yeah, they were there. But by the way, they were very encouraging to all of their children, whatever anybody chose to do. So
that's wonderful. I mean, anyone else in your family, are they entertainers as well?
They don't mean to be, but you know, they're funny.
I can only imagine what your family gatherings are like. It must be a love fest.
No, they're so loud, just like when I was a kid. All the brothers are like, ah! You know, so I just go by my mom had great Thanksgiving. She was like Joan Rivers. She had big Thanksgiving. That was a big, big, big. And all the brothers, all my aunts and uncles, and you know, that was great. And so we all, everybody got along. You know, we all got along. We all had fun. And my mom and dad were like the nucleus of that. So, you know.
So I want to go back before we run out of time. I want to go back to your book for a moment because people get the book. How can we get your book?
You can go on Amazon.
Okay.
And you can, I don't really, my website is for information. You know, so they can order. I think the best way is Amazon. Don't get mad at me. I know a lot of people, but I mean, I think that's the easiest. And also, I have many albums. I have many, you know, and yeah, and yes, you know, I got 2 Grammy nominations for, what was the first one for? I got to look at my Grammy nominations. What did I get? Oh, the first one was for for the gay concert I did. It was for the gay concert. So that one was what was that called? I don't know. But I have to go get my big Grammy plaques. They're in the hallway. In Goddess We Trust. That In Goddess We Trust. That was like my third album, comedy album. And so that and the first one, Buy This Pigs, or yeah, well, that was a big album, you know. No, but the one that I got nominated for was, attention, listen to this title. Here's what I loved about this. Hillary Clinton was presenting the award for Best Spoken Word, including comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would have won, she would have had to say, and the award for Best Spoken Comedy Album goes to Judy Tenuta. Attention, butt pirates and lesbian. Hillary! We love Hillary. Woohoo!
Well, Judy, you are a winner.
Oh, I am?
You are a winner. You're a winner. And you are the goddess.
Oh,
And I worship at the feet of Judaism.
Oh, thank you, Richard.
I can't believe this, but we are at the end of our show.
Oh, no.
Yes, it just flew from me. Will you come and do it again?
Oh, of course. But before I go, let's do this song. Party in your pants. Party
in your pants.
Never has there been such a sassy little dance. You can do it anywhere in any circumstance. Have yourself a big fat party in
your pants. Now, before you go, wait, before you go,
Yes.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. If
Yes.
you enjoyed the show, and if you haven't done so already, please go to my website, richardskipper.com. Sign my guest book with your thoughts about the show. I want to let everyone know that tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, my guest will be Tim Moss, and we're going to interview each other. So this will be a very interesting show. So you would love Tim Moss.
I'm sure.
He loves you. I know, because he's watching tonight.
That's the important thing.
That's the important thing. But I always end every show by telling everyone to go out and do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. And you said this at the beginning of the show, and I actually believe in it. Pick up the phone and call someone. Go to your Facebook friends list, reach out to the fourth name on the list, and give them a phone call.
I do it all the time. I do it
too.
Other people need to do that.
And
really.
Judy, anytime you want to pick up the phone and call me,
I will do it, Richard.
We will do it.
I love your hair. I love your hair.
Well, I love you. I love everything about you. Now, before we end the show, I'm going to give you the final word. Anything you want to talk about that we didn't talk about tonight, anything you want to expound upon that we did talk about, or just any message that you want to give to everyone who's watching right now. And again, I love you. So thank you.
I love you too. I want to just tell everybody right now, because it's hard for everyone. I'm sending love and positive vibes to everyone. I love you all. I know it's very tough out there, but it's going to get better because we have a great administration now that cares about people, okay, about getting healthy, and getting better. And again, we have to learn to live together. So we that's why I loved at the inauguration, if you noticed, Michelle Obama and Hillary wore purple, because that's combining the blue and the red. And it's very important that you may not get along with someone, but we have to tolerate, we have to be tolerant. And just, I try to be kind to people, but when people are really rude and horrible to me, that's it. I have to push them out.
Judy, I can't imagine anyone ever being rude and horrible to you.
Well, I don't want to mention names, but yeah, I won't go there, but
no.
But it might be a family member. Okay. So, but that's okay. They don't know what's going on in the world. So, But anyway, I still send blessings to everyone. I want everyone, and that it goes so far. Just say something sweet to someone. That's why I like to pick up the phone. Even people that especially now, it's very important to hear voices. Really,
Well, I also want to do a shout out to my friend Rosa Puzo, who yes, don't we love her?
I love her.
And she reached out. She says, got to have Judy on the show. And I said, if she'll do it, I will love to do this. So thank you. And thank you, Rose.
Rose. I love your bloom.
Yes. I love you, Judy. Have a great night.
You too, Richard.
Thank you. Have a better tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye. It could happen.
Could happen.